so out of hand to maybe a point where it feels a little greedy and it's limiting some teams' potentials. It feels like the amount of cap space that a good quarterback is taking up these days, if one was willing to reel it in, sacrifice, take a little bit less money, but then obviously the team could use that cap space to build around them and afford better players around them, afford better wide receivers and offensive line, and everything that a quarterback needs to be really good. I don't have all of my stats ducks in a row because that part feels a little bit more boring to me. But, if a quarterback could sacrifice making $18-20 million a year versus $30+ million a year, then in theory they're still making a whole lot of money. That's still a lot, and then the team could then use that money towards other people that they need. I read about this initially in Mike Florio's, my cats, I'm so sorry. I read about this initially in Mike Florio's book, and, he pointed out that some people believe this is why Tom Brady was so goated with the Patriots for so long, because he never demanded absurd salaries. He would never maximize his on-field earnings. He averaged apparently $15 million a year in his last stretch with the Patriots, the majority of his career. And he's the GOAT, 7-time Super Bowl Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Maybe that is because he considered that building an elite team around him was maybe just as important as having a goated quarterback, you know what I mean? He has more Super Bowls than anybody, and some people think that is why. I was pretty sad about Joe Burrow's contract, which I've mentioned before. It seems like Joe Burrow is out here getting an absurd contract. Not absurd in terms of undeserved. I'm sure it is deserved. Everybody is just out here doing what they feel is what they deserve, and it is, but it seems like now next year they aren't going to be able to afford Tyler Boyd or T. Higgins, which I love them all together, and I want them to stay together. You know what I mean? T. Higgins, none of the Bengals is as sad. So if it were me, if I was a quarterback, I feel like I would maybe feel secure enough in my talent and worth to the point where I don't need the biggest contract to affirm that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that is a valid opinion, because I don't know. I just feel like, what's the freaking difference in $10 million at this point if you're still making $20 million a year? You know what I mean? Plus all of your extra money that you make from your brand deals and whatnot. You know what I mean? You're still surviving. he says it's, he's trying to angle so that my opinions are like, my arguments are stronger, whatever. He and other dudes that I know have said they pick it up mainly when somebody else from a better angle, saw it from a better angle and told them that it was wrong. And that's fine and whatever. I don't think that should be like fined, automatically when somebody picks it up, but I feel like it happens a lot. watched the Eras Tour movie with me twice because I was excited about it and I wanted to watch it. And I was just excited that he was willing to watch it with me. You know what I mean? There's no gatekeeping anything in that because that would just be weird to me and to me. But it's like I've talked about before about all of the things that annoy me about the NFL. But you don't see me on NFL's Instagram page like commenting hateful, mean things about Patrick Mahomes and how he should get off the screen, and you know what I mean? Like, that is so weird. The things that I was scrolling and reading were like concerning for I don't know. I think about Formula One. I don't know if any of you guys like Formula One, but they show the wives and girlfriends all the time on Formula One afterwards, like when their dude wins, you know, and they show celebrities all the time on the big screens at basketball games and stuff like that. Yet nobody comments about that, but when it's Taylor Swift being the celebrity, it's a significant other of like somebody on the field. It just doesn't make sense. I saw someone say that it's giving a man who would shove women and children out of the way if they were on the Titanic. That made me laugh. It's kind of true. I just would encourage anybody who maybe finds themselves like getting annoyed by it to take a step back and think like, why do I feel annoyed by this? Why is this triggering? Like, why is this something I feel the need to like comment on Instagram